All right, hi. So this is Carrie, and Crafting with Carrie. I've been dabbling with a couple of YouTube channel names. Crafting with Carrie, acrylic pouring on a budget. I don't know. I'll come up with one. Anyway, so today's video is simply to talk about some things that I found, and I'm kind of excited about trying. And those will be for later pours, but then really just how I'm going to prep and finish a canvas. So that's what today's video is about, finishing and prepping a canvas, or prepping and finishing a canvas. So couple things I was really excited about. So I went to count them, 5 different Dollar Trees yesterday. So thank you very much, Dollar Tree, for the tour of the city. Looking for these condiment bottles. I'm going to be putting my pre-mixed, it doesn't come out of here very well. Shocker, I know. So I'm going to continue, this is just on the outside. This is my titanium white. I'm going to mix any of my pre-mixed colors that I mix bulk of. My black, which is lumpy. I'm going to put into these tubes, and I'm really kind of excited about it. So what I'm also going to use is another one of my dollar store finds. I was using a different strainer to strain out the Floetrol, and I'm going to use this. I'm going to actually pour my paint through this as I put it into these, because it's a much finer mesh strainer. Again, Dollar Tree for $1. Everything's $1 at Dollar Tree. I also found several of these little mini paint containers, okay, they're not paint containers, they're food containers, but when I have leftover scrap of paint where I don't have a ton of it, but I like the color a lot and I want to keep it, these hold 2 ounces, so have a couple of these. They came in a 10-pack. They're resealable. So I found those at Dollar Tree. Oh, cake decorator. Oh, these little mini cups for mini flips. Kind of excited about using these. And then the cake bag. So I saw Gina DeLuca do it, and I've makeshifted my own bags out of just cheapo bags. But they're a pain. See, here's one that's left over. So what I don't like is that the paint ends up on these, traveling to the opposite corner. Trying to navigate the clipping and it's a pain. So I'm hoping that by using an actual pastry bag, number one, it's reusable. And number two, I'm saving a little bit more paint. I don't know. We're going to try it. Hoping a couple of these tips no, they don't feel like they're closable. So I'm going to still have to figure out a way to close off the tip while I pour the paint in. But that's another of my dollar store find. Ooh, a new big measuring cup with a good spout. So this one will hold up to 32 ounces. This will be good for mixing paints in large batches as well as for a large pour, because I have one slated. All right, so a couple Dollar Tree. Oh, the other thing that I'm going to try in one of my later pours today, or last 2 things, sorry. So I'm in the wedding section and I see these different shaped bowls. I don't know if, yeah. And there was one other, but it was kind of cup-shaped. So my thought was, does the shape of the cup affect the way the pour is? So would a super tall, skinny cup compared to a very flat, square cup compared to a rounded base cup with the same colors come up with the same result? I don't know. So this is a trial for today as well. So I'm going to try out these. And then my last thing that I picked up, or last two things I picked up at Dollar Tree. I'm going to try this today. Not for swiping. I'm not successful at swiping. But I'm thinking for finishing. And since we're finishing today, I'm going to try this one out. Not on that one because I like that one too much. The last thing. So this is going to be my first pour of the day today. I know. It's a puzzle! So I go through the Dollar Tree section and I'm like, I mean, I did. I spent hours. What could I use? And I saw this and thought, oh, it'll probably be disastrous. So I enjoy doing puzzles. My family enjoys doing puzzles. I figured, why not try? I went ahead and put it together. And then sprayed it with some primer spray paint. Single coat primer spray paint. Let it dry. So this is going to be my first pour for the day. But I don't know. I think what's important is that I'm thinking and I'm trying and I'm not scared to do it. So, all right. Sorry for the distraction. Prepping and finishing a painting. Okay, so this is a painting I did. It did have silicone in it. And actually, I already finished that piece. So I have not washed this one yet. This one also had silicone in it. In fact, you can't really see this like brain kind of space right here was a really big divot when I painted it. And so I'm fearful that that's a big old chunk of silicone. So what I've done is I've taken warm water and Dawn dish soap. Again, another Dollar Tree find. And a simple foam brush. And it's just like 6 or 10 drops. And all I'm going to do, what I like about the foam brush is I can get control in my cleaning area. If I want to scrub a little harder, I can. If I don't want to scrub a little harder, I can be very gentle and still get all of the areas. But the goal is to wash off. What I also like is it doesn't really pull up too much paint either. And if I put it on watery enough and then kind of stand to the side, I can see if there's any silicone that is going to bead up, which I'm not seeing any. Let me brush it on a little bit. It's kind of bubbly after scrubbing it off. Yeah, and there's no spots that are at all bubbly. Now I hear the hair serum is much harder to remove. And I'm continuing to look. I heard it was at the dollar store. I've obviously been to 5 of them. So don't forget the sides and the corner edge. So, and this is not a lot of soap into my water. Just enough to make sure that it's doing its job. And at this point, I'm feeling like it's good. So then it's just simply a dry paper towel and gently drying it. Did come a little bit of color is coming up, and I expect that. But if you're getting a ton of color, then clearly this happens to be my absolute favorite. I joined Gina DeLuca's Facebook page, Let's Go Make Some Art. And the October challenge was to do your favorite teen colors. Well, I'm a teacher, and our school colors are maroon and gray. So I mixed in maroon and gray, and I'm really pleased with the texture I got, the cell action. I was really bummed because my butane torch didn't work. And I don't want to leave any water sitting on it, but I am going to let it then sit for about an hour before I finish it. Still on its little tacks, so that's the cleaning. And I know other people use like cornstarch to absorb the oil. I haven't needed to yet. Maybe when I do the hair serum. Okay. So I'm hoping, we'll see. I have like these, I have two paintings that I've done that when I put the Minwax polyacrylic finish on it, the first layer looked great. Fine, no issues. Second layer cracked and crinkled and like crystallized. So I washed it off and thought, okay, maybe I just didn't clean it well enough. And then, and luckily I caught it while I was doing it. It happened while I was doing it. And then it did it again. So I let it cure longer. Maybe it wasn't cured long enough. So I let it sit for a week and a half and it did it again. So on those paintings, I tried, Liquitex varnish. I don't know. I don't know what happened to them. But those, I don't know. I'm just frustrated. But I finally broke down and just got spray paint. I rent my residence and don't really have a great place. I don't want to do it outside necessarily. Doing it inside could be bad. So anyway, so I use the Minwax polyacrylic, and hopefully this painting doesn't do my funkiness that I have experienced. So found this, another like 5-cent yard sale. What I like about it is its size. Number one, so it's 1 ounce, and the spout. So for the Minwax, it says do not shake. I definitely am not a shaker. I don't want to use the, you get a clean craft stick. Another Dollar Tree find, and I really like these. By the way, I got the 2 sizes, and these, they're thicker than what I got at Walmart. Anyway, okay, so stir, not shake. Shaking will incorporate bubbles into the Minwax. But you stir to get all the stuff off the bottom. Easy enough, right? And then I use this to dip it out. And look, no bubbles. So I'm put on a pretty thin coat, and then I pour and tilt. And I don't go over the edge until the very end. And because it's milky white, you can kind of see. You know, I've been meaning to make myself a corner corner catcher. Oh, I just had a brilliant idea. Yes, yet another Dollar Tree find. I was going to use this for a swipe. I was going to try it again, even though I hated the swipe that I did. But I think I'm going to use it as a corner catcher. Why not? Okay, it's not perfect. Sorry, I don't know if you missed that. I'll do another one. Okay, so I'm putting it on the corner, and I like that it's kind of flexible, so I can pull it tight, and I'm just stay out of it. Getting to the point now where maybe need a little bit more. Trying to get that little hole there. Yeah. And yes, I don't mind if it goes over the edge, because I'm going to brush the edges. And then, this is going to be crazy, I know, I actually use my fingers sometimes. If I can't get a spot, fill in, actually. If I'm having trouble just, and I don't want to put too much more, I don't want to waste the finish. Yeah, I just use my finger to fill in. I know, crazy. Okay, so I got all my sides, or all my the top all the way around, all 4 of my corners, and then I kind of tilt off any excess because I don't want it too thick. And then I brush the sides. And it doesn't really matter which brush you use, whatever you feel comfortable with. I just really want to make sure that there's no drippy marks down the sides and that they're completely covered. There's a couple bubbles. So I'm going to hit it with the torch. And I've never torched before when putting on the finish, but what's the worst that can happen, right? Appears as though this corner is much higher, so I'm going to make sure I use, when I dry this, prop this corner up. Yeah. And I turn it to the light so I can kind of see the, make sure that it's completely covered on the sides. Make sure that there really isn't any drippage. The biggest issue is going to be if it goes down the edge and you get like those drippy lines, they actually become, this one's got like a ridge, and that's okay. Okay, then I let it sit. Sometimes they need 2 coats. Oh, I did say I was going to hit this with the torch. If I blow up, that helped those. So yeah, let it sit and be done with it. This one doesn't have an edge, and so I'm just gonna pour it over. I've already washed it. I'm gonna go right up to the edge. And tilt and pour. Tilt and smear. So this didn't really work well as a corner catcher, but you know what? I don't mind it for a edge catcher. Ooh. Not what I wanted to do. But that's okay. is going to need some more. All right, I'm going to go ahead and try the squeegee. Why not? That's why I got it. Keep your fingers crossed. My push pin fell out for that side. Not the worst thing I've ever done. Interesting. You know, by doing this, I almost get a thinner coat. Definitely do, but it's a lot messier. Okay. I've got another one. This has got, I brushed on some varnish, but I'm gonna go ahead and put my extra on it. You know, I'm really liking how thin of a coat I can get with this squeegee. Got lots of scooch down the sides, but on the bottom edge. I'll wipe that off in a minute. This one was this painting was a repurpose the drips. So you can see, yeah, this isn't going to work for this one because it's not up on its own. Well, there we go. Okay. Just a little bit wasted. But no, this painting was a repurpose the drips. Sorry, let me finish rinsing off my hands real quick. You can see, in terms of my surface preparation, I actually found an extra roll of the winter window sealers. It has one sticky edge, and then if you hit it with a hairdryer, it kind of shrinks up. That's what I've got on my table. Note to self, make sure you have bottoms on your thing. And then I do peel off these. Take them into my art teacher at school. I've seen some people turn them into jewelry. Haven't done that yet. All right, so that's today's video. There's more art to come.